Welcome to NeuroNoodle's Neurofeedback and Neuropsychology podcast featuring tech legend Jay Gunkelman. He's the man who has read well over 500,000 brain scans, and Dr. Marie Swingle, author of iMinds. Our goal is to provide information and promote options for better mental health. The NeuroNoodle podcast is supported by listeners and businesses just like you. Just like we're doing it every Thursday, Jay.
All right.
Here we are, Suisun City. Beautiful. Look at this. It's everything you said it was, Jay. Look at that.
Got a little tiny harbor here.
Very nice.
And the yacht club has been gracious enough to host us for the last few years. So,
how many years have you been doing it here at the Solano? Not Solano. Solano Yacht Club. Okay.
County.
Got it.
And it's a countywide yacht club, not just a super. But, it's the spot where we have a harbor in the county. So
now, this is the third time I've been here. 2019 was the first time here? Okay, got it. All right.
And they appreciate our business because they rent out their dining hall for, little festivals,
right.
And birthdays and whatnot.
Watch out for Kim. She'll sell you an annual membership just like that.
Renew mine, even though, I'm masked anytime I'm.
Yeah, right.
And so, I can't really go to their dinners. So
yeah,
the yacht club has a lot of dinners, like, every other week or so they've got a food thing or a, Monday night football, or Thursday night football, whatever they've got, they announce, and it's always, reasonable price, $15 for food and drinks, and pop in and hang out with everybody. But you can't unmask to eat, you got to eat through a freaking mask.
Yeah, so. that doesn't work. But Mike, Kim, the whole crew here, all the regulars, great joint. Yeah. If you're in Cali, around Oakland area, Suisun area, stop by the Solano Yacht Club. So Jay, this is day one. What's going to happen day one?
Well, we got a day half yesterday. We had the opening reception.
Okay.
It's really humbling because I have not the ability to travel, and I have people here from Australia, Macedonia, UK, Italy, Germany. Nobody from Greenland, No. We got to break the Greenland.
Well, when we acquire it.
Students here that are from South Africa, the people from all over the world. I don't know who came farthest, either Australia or Macedonia, probably.
I wonder how long.
And I don't know. One comes across and stays in the northern hemisphere. The one comes from south to north, and the number of time zones between us is about the same. But I think the distance might be a little bit more.
You can fly 24 hours and still be in the same. You didn't.
Well, you past the date line going to Australia.
Yeah.
You don't really do that on the way to Macedonia, but at the same time, the Macedonia into the U.S. You have to get visas a little bit more than Australia, and the Australians are allowed through much more readily than people from Eastern Europe. So
people coming from
all special visas to and we had to send a letter of invitation for the presentation so that there was a reason,
Got it. Yeah.
So like I say, it's really humbling, and I
Santiago made it.
Yeah, exactly. Singapore. I miss Singapore there.
Yeah. No, he came in. He looked a little tired. He should be. He
came in not from Singapore. He came in from Costa Rica.
Oh,
he was doing a workshop there, and he flew in. But that's a domestic flight, so you don't have to go through customs. Now, Santiago's passport have you seen how many talks he's given or so many places he's given?
I just see all the Facebook posts. I can't keep up.
Customs, and you have his passport, you'd expect to have to go into a little private room, So,
well, these people that are coming in, let me get this straight, because it's happening now, but we're talking about next year, and we say, hey, remember, last year? Okay, so it's sold out live, but you can get the continuing credit hours by booking it online
correct? But you have to
Yeah,
watch it
you have to
live.
watch it live.
You have to watch it live. Okay. And then if you can't do that, then for what, $50, you can watch the replay of it later.
It's $350 to get all the recordings for
Three.
3 days.
Okay. So,
But if there's one talk you want, it's
yeah,
$50. And
got it.
the fees go to the students. So it's
Yeah.
not, it's not like you're patting somebody's pocket other than a student.
Right.
So
Okay. And these students, is there like Mark Jones, the University of Texas at San Antonio, does he have a group there or like I know I've seen him here before. How does
he
that?
can't make it this year. He's not. He's like me,
Right.
getting older and get things falling off the wagon here.
Well, he's like you. He's breeding new students, and I'm just
Yeah.
wondering if that's a feeder system or was it the Saybrook?
Saybrook has students. There's students in Arizona coming out of Mark Stevens
Okay.
courses, and we gave $2,000 scholarships to 4 students that came out of his program.
Right.
That yeah, we funded through FERB students going to APB. FERB, there's an acronym problem in this field. FERB? You really want to call it FERB?
What'd you call me?
Apple?
Oh,
Isner?
that's half the battle is figuring out the acronyms. So let's see. We saw Rusty. I saw Rusty yesterday. He came in. I didn't see the piano. Is the piano?
Last time we had I think it was my retirement party, but I'm terrible at retirement. I'm a fail. I'm a fail at retirement.
Yeah, you're gonna need some
I
rest.
quit writing reports. That's what I did.
Okay.
And before that, I did all the processing and the reports. And then we got so busy that we hired the group in St. Petersburg to do the processing. They're techs at Yuri's lab. They know
Okay.
WinEG perfectly well, and they do great processing. They really know their stuff. So they would crank out the standardized set of different maps that would be the data, and I would analyze the EG and QEG and do the write-up on that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, after they were processing it, I just had to do the write-up, so it cut down on my total workload. But when I, turned 70, I pulled the
Yeah,
plug.
that's it. Well, we were doing the Q&A last night, and one of the things came up again was AI and
Oh yeah,
and recordings, and
especially Josh was on top of that as a topic.
Joshua was on top of it, and he was saying that he doesn't think it's gonna happen, but he doesn't think it's gonna happen that fast because people are going to be worried about, well, if we put it in there, then I won't have a job or I won't be able to do it for somebody else. That doesn't sound right. You should be able to do more, if anything.
Well, if it's just the report that you're worried about,
Yeah.
That's not really a job for most clinicians. There's one person doing a report for
Yeah.
every 100 clinicians out there.
You don't want the clinicians to read it. You want to make sure that they're getting a good signal, and
you want to make sure that the reading is done by somebody who's competent. There was a Larry Johnson, I think he was. He came out of Jeannie Bodenhammer Davis's program at University of North Texas when that was still a program. She's retired, but he did a study years ago, and he sent cleaned data, already pre-cleaned, and there's no more artifacting. This is the data you have to artifact, and he sent it to about 15 people that had commercial services. They would charge you bucks to make a recommendation for neurofeedback. And he was going to show the results of how much concordance or discord there was between interpretations. And he got the data back and he went to Jeannie and said, "This is all chaos. This looks like random throwing darts at a wall, and if you're a bad dart thrower at that, I mean, you hit the wall, you might hit the floor even."
Yeah.
So what the hell? And she said, "Well, that's your data set. Why don't you take people that have more than 5 years experience and less than 5 years experience and see what the difference is?" Well, that kind of made it somewhat sensical to him. The ones with more experience all kind of congealed around the right posterior temporal area, which is social perception and, PTSD, anxiety, a bunch of things like that have that difficulty with social perception.
Mm-hmm.
And that was what everybody that had experience focused on. The ones who had less experience, or some very little, they got the software, they get the button, get the printout, and they the one that was most nonsensical to me was somebody who had to do a session at this electrode of these things, and then go over in here, do a session over here, and then a session over here. It's like you're doing a treatment, a massage here and a massage there, as opposed to a learning curve. It, one session here, one session there, one session here, one session there. What are you learning and where? You know, so that didn't, I mean, it didn't sit well with me, but you know, there's, it's like art.
Yeah.
You know, you
Come on, Jay.
this
This is
style
science.
for
This is all
everybody.
science.
You could find a Dutch master that paints with a single damn bristle, you know, real fine. It looks like a damn picture, you know, or you can find somebody that paints with a bucket, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and pick your kind of art. But I think some scientific validity has to be kind of going along with it, and
Yeah.
the you know, one here, one there, one here, one there really doesn't follow any operant
Right.
sort of thing. Anyway, he submitted his conclusions to the Journal of Neurotherapy, and David Trudeau, the editor, refused to print it. He said it's too embarrassing. And I said, David, you have to print it because it's data. This isn't somebody with a bad opinion slanting something. This is reality. This is what we have, and you have to print it. If he had faked something or falsely did something, but this is coming out of Jeannie's lab. This is good. You know, it's embarrassing, yeah. But we need to have a accurate view of who we are as a field. How do you do self-regulation? Feedback. You know, we need some feedback, and our feedback is don't send your data to rookies because they really don't have it yet.
Yeah, that's right.
And the people, the one who was the most simple protocol was mine. Eyes open, right posterior temporal, alpha suppress. Well, more than just alpha suppress, but that was your primary intervention with a little counterbalance up front. A real simple protocol. But you could do 25, 30, 40 sessions on that protocol and end up with a learning curve across time. It takes time to establish a learning curve. And there's an fifth order learning curve. James V. Hart out of Kamiya's lab in 1974 got his PhD looking at learning curve for alpha training. And what happened is he was a actual client in a study, and they put him in a soundproof chamber. They hooked him up to the alpha trainer, and he was getting feedback, and everybody went to lunch. And it was a long lunch. He was in this soundproof chamber getting alpha feedback for about 3.5 hours.
Hey everyone, if you're enjoying the show and want to help us keep it going, please consider supporting us on Patreon. Your support helps improve the content and brings on great guests and grow the show. Join us on Patreon at patreon.com/NeuroNoodle. But hey, if supporting financially isn't in the cards right now, no worries. You can still help us out for free by liking, subscribing, and sharing this episode. It really makes a difference and helps more people find the show. If we've earned it, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode.
Like they just forgot about it. They came back to the lab and said, "Oh God,
he was clucking like a chicken."
Jim's, you know, sealed in, and you know, my God, this is, you know, and so they opened the chamber. He didn't float out, you know, but but the fifth order learning curve is there's how much alpha power you have. Well, you start with a certain amount of alpha power, but it's not how much you normally would have. This is a white coat problem. Your alpha is not as intense as it would normally be because you're in a lab and you're a little, yeah, who is this creepy guy that's putting this stuff on my head? This is gooey shit.
Yeah, right.
So, you know, you gotta kind of put up with that kind of thing. But anyway, we've got a field that ends up having to take a close look at what's going on.
I haven't seen the Koreans. Are they coming this year, or did they do last year? I met the Koreans.
Yeah, I met the South Koreans.
South Koreans. I don't think there's any North Korean equipment that isn't nuclear.
We might have a Kim here, but I don't think it's the
All
last
right.
name. So,
Any update on those guys? Like, how is their database coming? Their equipment? I haven't talked to Dave Burkus in a long time.
They collected their database, and after they collected the data, which, as I told them, if they followed my advice, it was going to take them twice as long to get their database because you'd have to have two databases, one for male, one for female. And you can't cut a database in half and still have it be enough people in each age range to be a nice predictor. You have to have about 30 people to have a group make some sense statistically. So if you every little age range you've got has to have about 30 something people in it.
Hey, hold on. Hey, Mike, wave.
Do it.
Here, just look who just walked by.
Hi,
You're in
this is Dr.
Suisun
Mike with
City.
Jay Gunkelman, and you're listening to the NeuroNoodle podcast.
Yeah, of course we are. Hey,
Hey.
Mike, what's the latest on your equipment?
Good to see you.
Hop in.
Just pop right in. Boy, that's the style, isn't it, Pete?
You are
Oh my
Mr.
God.
You are Mr. Hardware. What were you telling me last night? What's your new machine that you got?
Well, Yuri wrangled me into going with a 31 channel system from B-Medic, so I'm going to be doing ERPs with the 31 channel for the first time. I'm excited about it. He said, "You must do 31 channels," and I said, "Okay."
When you get it with the accent, you got to do
That's
it.
right. That's right. You must do it.
Well, what were you telling me? They wouldn't let you leave that presentation unless they bought it. What did you say?
Well, I was at a private client demonstration, and they would not let me leave with the equipment. They said I must have it, and they said, "What would it take for you to part with it right here, right now?" And I went, "Oh my God!" Did some calculations and left the airport with
A lighter
10
load.
pounds light of equipment.
Yeah.
They felt
And you
comfortable.
didn't do a sales job,
No.
but it was an effective one.
No, I mean, I was just talking
Yeah.
about the technology and the services. Had no intention to sell it, and they said they wanted the whole, the EEG, the ERP, the infralow neurofeedback, the entire system, that the caps, the whole software, all that, and so it was fun.
So, Mike, people want to get some hardware. What kind of hardware do you have? Do you have software too, or are we sticking with hardware?
Well, yeah, they've got a software package that is regular neurofeedback, EEG band neurofeedback, and of course infralow neurofeedback, and then their systems to do alpha training, either synchrony or asynchrony. They've got their infralow different systems with 5 wires, 4 or 5 wires, and then they've got the entire full cap S Loretta package, and they can do EEGs and ERPs, the VCPT test, the test where you're clicking, actively, you're watching a screen.
Visual control.
Yeah, you're watching a screen.
Continuous
For
performance.
those that don't know, you're watching a screen, you're seeing animal or animal plant or something, and you're trying to respond or not respond in time, and they collect the voltage with your head. They've also got one where you're not collecting voltage with your head. They're just looking at a visual screen and you're doing the same response. So you can start out at a low level or you can work up to a high level depending on what you want.
Now, Michael,
The good part about the breakdown is that they do an independent component analysis of the clean EEG data.
That's right.
And at that point, you can actually see in the visual CPT the arrival of the information occipitally for vision, then the processing of it in the temporal areas, the motor engagement, the motor inhibition, the self-monitoring, the novel stimulus, all of those things end up giving you a deeper assessment of the client. If they have ADD, for instance, that's an executive function thing. You shouldn't have a problem with the vision or the processing.
Yeah.
You might have engagement or disengagement or self-monitoring, but you shouldn't have sensory problems.
Yeah.
So if you see the sensory stuff, you've got a learning disability or sensory processing problem on top of any intentional stuff.
Yeah.
So it gives you a huge, deeper insight into what's really going on.
Yeah, it's a gold mine, really.
so we're just 3 guys, Suisun City. Michael Pierce just happens to walk up. Somebody wants to get your equipment. Where do we send them, Mike?
Well, that stuff is out of Switzerland, but
Yeah.
in the United States, I think you can get it on the West Coast. They've got branches, and
I'm trying to help you make money. Where can I send
Sure.
people find out more about you, Mike?
I don't represent officially anybody. I'm just happy to endorse great equipment, and there's great equipment everywhere. But they've got branches in Asia, Australia, U.S., Europe, and I think 17 countries in Europe are actually reimbursing for infralow neurofeedback right now,
What?
which is pretty cool. So, it's really, they're doing a lot of research. They just did a big study on the VA. They just did a big study with pre and post fMRI with one treatment to show changes in the brain with one treatment of infralow. So, I mean, I don't want to say that you should always do one kind of tool. I have a lot of tools, but it's one tool that I really like.
Yeah.
All right. People want advice from you, Mike. Where do we send them? Give me a URL. What's the website?
Well, BeMedic. You could go to bemedic.com and
That's BEE.
BEE Medic. Yeah, BEE Medic.
BEE.
Yeah, it's
MEDIC.
yeah, BeMedic, and
Okay.
it's a great set of people. They've got courses, they've got software, they've got hardware, they've got caps. I tend to use the Combi cap right now just because it was voted one of the most popular in the world for 2 years in a row. It's easy to use. It's a silver chloride cap, and now I'm going to have to get 31 channel
Yeah.
caps.
A more expensive cap.
Right. So it's an expensive cap, but boy, it's worth it. Very clean signal, very easy to use. And the family that runs it, in what is it, Croatia, I think they're just fantastic. That the Combi Cap company, separate company.
So, Mike, this is like your presentation routine, like, before the event starts, you go out for a little walk, get your mind right. Is that what you're
You
doing?
have to have sunlight. I got to get morning
A
sunlight.
little
So
vitamin
important.
D.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Set that circadian
That's
rhythm up.
right. Oh my God.
Bright light in the morning.
I've messed it up too much, and I'll probably be sitting in EMF all day today. So I gotta make sure I offset my mitochondria.
Got to make a note of that. Well, here, Jay, we just want to get a little, pre-show routine here. I think you got to get a little rest, a little chill out before the
Yeah.
big go. What is your pre-game routine?
Well,
Hi, Mike.
I've been so excited for the last few days. Out of the last 4 days, I've slept 3. I haven't slept 3 of the 4 nights. So,
Well,
my routine is not what you would want to do. But then, most of me is artificial. I
yeah.
manipulate my my body with
Right.
steroids and hormones and
But look, this is,
injections.
there's no line, but this is us. This is, here we are.
You can slap me.
Yeah, bam. Well, Jay, hey, I didn't want to take up too much of your time. Thanks. You guys are gonna have a great show. I'll be back later at the bar to make sure the beers are at 36 degrees Fahrenheit, and go through the rest of the routine. So yesterday was travel day. What's today and the rest of the day? Because I know
It was arrival and
Right.
reception. So everybody kind of had a mixer and just a little bit of food,
Right,
and
right.
a lot of drinks, and everybody had a great time. It was quite the mixer. People hadn't seen each other.
Yeah.
Actually, Rusty and Isabella had never met face to face,
Oh,
and when he recognized
tennis
who
player,
she
the
was.
tennis player.
Yeah. Isabella's the previous intractable epileptic who's
Mhm.
been seizure free and medication free since 2016.
Wow.
So,
She's the poster child for neurofeedback.
well,
right?
it took a lot of sessions, but she was a terrible case. Her doctors told her that if they manage her really well, she might live to her mid-20s, which she's past already. And
Wow.
and that she would never go to a regular school, and she would probably have to be helped out with all sorts of things. But she graduated with honors from Baylor on a tennis scholarship. She was in a Division I school
Yeah.
tennis program, got a full scholarship to go to Baylor, and got her master's degree. After she got her bachelor's degree with honors for bachelor's degree, she got her master's degree. Now she's playing pro tennis in Europe.
Wow.
And from being, you're gonna die.
Who cares how many sessions?
We
It's
have to
perfect.
do brain surgery on you, otherwise you're gonna die. So
Hey, Dr. Marie, we're just a couple of guys sitting here on the water talking
Ah.
neurofeedback.
missing
Yeah,
you.
you have it better than me. I'm just sitting here in the dark trying to figure out where the light is.
Well, you
Go to the light.
you just missed Mike Pierce. He was doing a little walk by. He just leaned over the fence, gave us a little update.
Nice.
We're wrapping up things here. Jay's about to take a little breather to get ready for his big day, but
Fair enough.
we didn't talk about your apps, the updates on your apps. So I wanted you to pop in and give us an update so we can tell everybody. We talked about it in the Q&A yesterday, but what's the latest?
Yeah, well, the latest is the Focus app is complete and ready and rolling to go. So we have the trifecta now. The sleep app for overt insomnia and non-restorative sleep. We have the Brain Calm for any type of symptom or condition or feeling of over-arousal, anywhere from cravings, anxiety, just feeling a little bit too stressed out. And again, the data is so strong on that. Reach out to me. I'm an open book. I'll share it. And now the Focus. With all the kiddies back to school, it's just about now that you figure out that they may or may not be needing a little bit of extra help. So yeah, those are our three for now. Always adding.
Well, we kept the show going just long enough to get that, Dr. Marie.
Aw, thanks, Steve. So I
All
can
right,
go
well,
into the darkness now.
yeah, you go find the light. We're gonna let Jay regenerate, and then I'm gonna come back later, make sure the beers are cold after the presentation today.
Wonderful. Have a great time. I'm so sorry I can't be there, but
Oh,
yeah.
all right, Dr. Marie.
Well,
Jay,
we would have added Canada to the list of international countries that have sent people here if you would have attended. So,
Oh, you don't have another Canadian?
I don't think so. I don't know of anybody else from Canada that made it.
Well, we're here in spirit, or we're there in spirit. Okay. All
all
right.
right, quick one. Have a great morning, all.
Okay.
All righty.
Hey everyone, if you're enjoying the show and want to help us keep it going, please consider supporting us on Patreon. Your support helps improve the content and brings on great guests and grow the show. Join us on Patreon at patreon.com/NeuroNoodle. But hey, if supporting financially isn't in the cards right now, no worries. You can still help us out for free by liking, subscribing, and sharing this episode. It really makes a difference and helps more people find the show. If we've earned it, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. The NeuroNoodle podcast is supported by listeners and businesses just like you. Hey everyone, here's a quick message from our good old buddy Joshua Moore at Alternative Behavioral Therapy.
I'm preparing to do an introduction to QEEG phenotypes. This is my first workshop on the topic, and this is just the introductory overview of the project. This is going to be very, very basic. So let's review each phenotype. We're just going to go through them one by one. If you look at the DSM 1, 2, or 3, and you look at the first chapter, it actually acknowledges that the DSM in mental health is just, quote, a descriptive adaptation, unquote. We're going to customize the interventions and tailor them to the individual's brain activity, not just applying the treatments or trainings to the individual's phenotype and maybe even their variants, but also customizing the protocols themselves to fit that person's individual unique frequency patterns. Maybe a dozen ways to have excessive energy in your nervous system, and then there's an infinite amount of ways to relate poorly to that excessive energy, which means that there is a lot of variations in what someone might call anxiety. And that doesn't mean that we're talking about the same thing when we're talking about anxiety. So complicated stuff. But when we look at a brain map, we get some basis for which we can start talking about what is this energy. Then we have to go to the client. We have to start talking to the client about what is your association to this specific kind of energy that I can see now. Then we get to care about things that insurance doesn't restrict us on. We get to care about like the person in a broader way. 85% improvement in mental health report following pairing a medication with a specific phenotype. You know, geez. Okay, have you seen 85% in any mental health studies for any medication? I'm going to be going over a whole bunch of different types of tests, assessments, and things that can be used that have things called neurocorrelates, which you saw some of those already. Better success outcomes. That's what we really want. We need better predictive power. We need better individualization. That's what we want.